All right, so there, it's done. And so RFK is talking about these things, and I would really just like to talk a little bit about his experience for the last couple of days with this confirmation. So he was grilled. And when I say grilled, he was literally put on the stove, grilled by senators because the confirmations happen in the Senate. And so one person in particular I would like to address right now is Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren. Now, the Pocahontas part is not her actual name. Her actual name is Elizabeth Warren. But we have to make fun because Elizabeth Warren claimed to be a Native American once upon a time. She lied on her papers so she could get the benefits that Native Americans would get. And so she was able to tag herself onto that thing and rode that thing all the way, got her first job, and then she became teacher, then she became this, and she became that, all the way to becoming a U.S. senator. Okay, I don't know if she was ever in the Congress or at least in the House, but she's been a senator, and she ran for president as well. Not this last cycle, because this last cycle nobody would run against Joe Biden because they told everybody to sit down because you need to go sit somewhere. So Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, again, because she has benefited from being an Indian or a Native American when she wasn't. So just got to put that out there. So anyway, during the confirmation of RFK, Elizabeth Warren had so much to say. She was literally brutal in her questions to him. And one of her main questions she was looking at was, well, are you going to get money from the lobbyist when, after you've done your time? So her whole question was, well, are you going to get money from the lobbyist about not making vaccines or not supporting vaccines and so on? And it's so interesting to find out again that Elizabeth Warren nearly walked off with nearly $2 million from Big Pharma. Those companies that make those medications that may cause you all of these different side effects. Well, she's against that. And during this confirmation, what was being said by RFK Jr. is, all I want is to make America healthy again. All I want is for our children not to be sick. All I want is to see why diabetes is out of control like this. Is it a link to the food? All I want is to make us healthy again. What is it? All I want is to do these things. And Elizabeth Warren, like a bulldog, was attacking. And it just gives you and makes you ask these questions. Elizabeth Warren, if you are for we the people, why don't you want to know what's in the foods that's making us so sick? Oh, I know, because the Big Pharma pays you $2 million, right? Is that why? Elizabeth Warren, I want to know why you don't want to take care of why our children are so obese in this country. You don't want to know because Big Pharma is paying you nearly $2 million, right? And Elizabeth Warren, I want to know, what about, people with diabetes, injections every day? They want you on injections. They just keep taking them. They don't even want to fix it. Just keep taking them. Well, Elizabeth Warren, you're out here advocating for us to continue to be sick. Are you not for the American people? Elizabeth Warren, I just need to know. I just need to understand. Are you for the American people, or are you for the MAGA lobbyist of Big Pharma, big pharmaceuticals? Because you've gotten rich off of that. I mean, first you got rich off the Indians' back, right? By stating that you're an Indian yourself, Native American, right? You got rich off of that. And now you're continuing to get rich and you're supposed to be for the people. You're supposed to be for the democracy, right? The party that's for the little people. Last time I checked, it's the little people that's dying from certain diseases. It's the little people. It's black and browns. Elizabeth Warren, your kinfolk, the Indian kinfolk of yours, your native kinfolk, the minorities, right? They're the ones dying. They're the ones sick with these vaccines, with these foods, with these medications, and they put you on the medications. You're on it for life. There's no getting off of it. And RFK Jr. is saying, I want to fix that. I want to fix that. Did you know, I found that out recently, that our children are being disqualified for serving in our services. So Army, Air Force, Navy, all of that, they are not able to pass the physicals required in order to serve in the services. And you're just like, oh my goodness, because our children are, again, being fed the wrong foods, the medications. Everybody is sick. Everybody's got an ailment. Everybody's got a problem. And again, RFK is saying, I want to fix these things. But Elizabeth Warren is saying, no, we don't care to fix them. We just want to keep pumping you with whatever. Keep pumping you with bad food. Keep pumping you with drugs. Keep pumping you with things that is not necessarily good for you. Again, party is Democrat Party. Just keep that in mind, friends. When you're looking at your party and you're saying, oh, I'm a Democrat, I'm a proud Democrat. Not to say that Republicans are any better in certain things, but they are better in certain things, especially in this administration right now. When we look at our cities, when we look at the decay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about our own home area. I hate to throw Pine Hills under the bus, but hey, when you're in Rome, you do as the Romans do. So that's where we're at. When we look at Pine Hills, friends, when you drive through it, what do you, those people who are listening to us right now, you're driving through Pine Hills. How do you feel about it? Do you feel all warm and cozy about driving to an area, trash everywhere, garbage everywhere, the housing is a mess, the grass is just, practically brown black? How do you feel when you're driving through Pine Hills? Do you feel the love? Nah, I don't think so. In same place, we're going to stick with our area, and we're going to take a little town that's, just about equal size as Pine Hills. Let's look at Edgewood, for example. Yeah, Edgewood. Quaint little town, doesn't have big houses, beautiful little area. Their grasses are kept, their little houses are done, their roads are clean, and you don't see nobody out there on the street putting trash out there. You don't see trash everywhere. No, you don't see these things. Same little kinds of towns. The difference is the people who live there and how the people who live there treat their town, the way the people treat their community. There's good people in Pine Hills, but they don't have their own governance, right? They don't have their own governance, their own representation. I think there's like over 80,000 people in Pine Hills. They should have their own governance. They should have their own little, county, things like that advocate for them. Edgewood has that. Yeah. Because they was like, you know what? We want to be able to govern our own little town. We want our own governance. So they got their mayors, they got, their city councils, they have these people, right? And so when we look at someplace like Pine Hills who doesn't have representation, if nobody's representing you, nobody's doing anything for you, right? And so it falls through the crack. Therefore, because nobody is navigating the Pine Hills ship, right? Nobody's navigating it. It has no governance. So maybe that's something we should think about for our own local community, because I know that Orange County has 2 new commissions that's coming. So they're going from 6 counties to 8. So maybe within that, Pine Hills could, maybe govern for itself at this point, maybe petition, do whatever it takes. I don't know what the procedures are for them to turn themselves into their own governance, and they can have their own little mayor, they can have their own little commissioners and so on, and for people to advocate for them, just like, Edgewood does, Belle Isles does, and other little small towns across the way does, right? They need representation. And so I think it's very, very important when we're looking at the landscape, when we're looking at the landscape of what's happening in our towns, it's very, very important for us to know these things. So I saw somebody inside there, but I don't know what happened. All right, we're gonna continue. So we've been talking about RFK and the health that he wants to bring to this country. He really just wants to make us healthy again. And I really find it to be disingenuous when people like Elizabeth Warren come out here to talk about how they want good things for us, but yet they are not really for us. They really aren't. And so we need to just take a look at our representation and make sure that they are for us. So, all right. Boy, Jeff, are you all in the building or what? Anybody there? Okay, it looks like they're not. All right, so we'll just continue to go on. So we started to talk about the women in Trump's administration, Pam Bondi, Caroline Lovett, and we also have Kristi Noem, who's also, she is the secretary of, oh, hi, boy.
Yeah, hello. We were taking a break. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back.
Okay.
So you hear the music.
We're taking a break.
All right.
Okay.
This sandwich is not just spicy, it's flavorful. Hi, this is Matayo, and this is Elsa. And the little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich is that spicy kick, because the spice comes in at just the right moment. Oh, no. The little thing I love is that cilantro lime sauce. It's a fun blend of zesty and bold. That's what really makes me happy. Are you going to eat all your fries?
Order a Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich and a Diet Dr. Pepper on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part, they accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
WOKB celebrates and salutes Black History Month.
Black History.
Black History.
Black History 365.
Brian Stevenson.
Our history.
Brian Stevenson, a renowned civil rights attorney, social justice advocate, and founder of the Equal Justice Initiative, or EJI. Born on November 14th, 1959 in Milton, Delaware, he graduated from Harvard Law School and the Kennedy School of Government. Stevenson's career dedicated to challenging systematic injustice, focusing on wrongful conviction, racial bias, and mass incarceration. Under his leadership, EJI won major legal reforms and opened the National Memorial for Peace and Justice, highlighting the legacy of slavery and lynching in America. His memoir, Just Mercy, inspired a major film and continues to influence the fight for equality. Brian Stevenson.
Black History.
Black History.
Black History 365.
Hi.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Amania, for holding it down. Amania, Sister Warrior, how are you doing?
Hi,
I
doing
see you
good.
holding down here for 45 minutes. Oh, my God. And I just want to thank Jeff for keeping it down with Amania and Dr. White. That's going to be calling at 6 o'clock. And let me say hello to Johnny and Roberto. I know he's doing an event. Sister Royer, thank you, and the great audience of WOKB 1680. And I just want to say, forgive us this opportunity for this platform. And from the beginning, Amania told you this is a conservative political show. We like to come out here discuss things that you guys don't want to get you frustrated. Okay, and that's how I like to put it. Things that get on your nerve, things that make you upset. But you know, you allowed your opinion, I'm allowed mine, and we're gonna debate. That's what this great country is all about. And Amania and I know we have one more hour left. What an amazing 2 weeks into the presidency that Donald Trump have accomplished. Accomplished in 2 weeks. Amazing. Exposed the deep state, exposed the radical left, exposed the paid radical media. Oh my God, I know. And if you out there listening to us and you paying attention to what's going on in America, okay, as a concerned taxpayer, okay, you should, it should be a great concern for you that how your money is being wasted, how we the citizen of taxpayer in this country, where representative and senators on both sides of the aisle, okay, is getting kickback, creating fictitious program, okay, and when we got the whole, this is that should get you angry, especially my black people in this country, okay. Certain things you're not qualified for, or you can't get a certain program, but your money's being wasted. And I have Maxwell Frost and the rest of the Democratic Party out there, and they're going crazy. They are being exposed. They're going crazy. They don't know what to do with themselves. And thank God for Elon Musk for exposing the fraud and the scam of the USIDA. And we're going to go through some of the lists. And you as a taxpayer, work hard. And I have an old clip from Ronald Reagan who said, they're going to get the money from somewhere. That's your dollar. Mm. And I was listening to Senator Kennedy on the floor, who was putting some of the waste. Now Elon become a target. You should be happy. This is what Donald Trump said he was going to do. This is exactly what he was going to say he was going to do. And if you're out there, if you're a Trump hater, you have Trump derangement syndrome. No, I'm serious. Honestly, this is, you got to ask yourself, what's going on? And Amania, I see Washington. This is not just a scandal, Amania. I didn't know it was that bad.
Neither did I. And
I know the government was corrupted, not to this extent.
We didn't know how bad it was. And the word of the day should be transparency. And friends, the word transparency means truth. We're going to look at truth. And this is what this administration is giving to us. This is what Elon Musk is giving to us. If you all remember the bill that was proposed right around Christmas, wasn't it, Voy?
Yeah.
That bill, and Elon Musk got to work. He put it in the system. It was a 1,500-page bill that was put on the desk of everybody, and they said, y'all need to vote it on. We voting tomorrow. They said, we don't even have time to read half this thing, and we're voting on it tomorrow. And Elon Musk went through it, put it in his special system, and he spit it out exactly what it is that they were going to use all these monies for. Again, transparency, letting we the people know exactly what these people have been up to. If it wasn't for Elon Musk, we wouldn't be able to see, what the money is being done with.
But Amania, why are they so afraid getting audited and find the waste and the spending? We are on a $36 trillion in debt.
Yeah.
So far, $26 billion went to waste and spending.
Mm-hmm.
And I think every taxpayer in America should be concerned.
Yep. Yeah. And
let
with this USIDA, the one that just got closed, right?
Yeah.
I know you got information on that, and where a lot of the money has been going. I know they put it out there like, oh, this is aid for humanity, but that's not it at all.
Let me, this just came out a few minutes, about an hour ago. Trump gonna move forward with the tax cut that he promised during the campaign. That's no tax on tip, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime, and renew the Trump 2017 tax cut, the one Joe Biden kept throughout his 4 years. That's what kept the economy going a little bit. That we didn't go down the tank. So by March, like I said, the man promised, and what this man was able to achieve within 2 weeks, it is amazing. I mean, I know some of you is not used to this. Okay, it's gonna be an amazing 4 years. Yeah, we're gonna have some battle, but guess what? If you're an American out there and you care for your pocket, you care for this country. I mean, if you're out there working in a restaurant and you're in the service industry, no tax on tip, the what he promised. No tax on Social Security.
Workers.
Yes,
our
no tax on
workers, right?
No tax on overtime. And we knew the Trump tax cut, the 2017. I mean, if you are against that, and what I'm hearing from the Democrat, oh yeah, the billionaire making changes, oligarch. But this is the kind of nonsense, and they look like a fool this week. And I'm gonna play some of the soundbite coming up. Even CNN exposed the Democrat. Even CNN, some of the stuff that they out there saying. Let me.
Yeah,
Jeff, give me a little audio.
Republican colleagues, if you do not see the light, we will bring the fire. Resist!
We are going to be in your face. We are going to be on your asses.
We have days to stop the destruction of our democracy. We have work to do. Tell Elon Musk to take his hands off your money. We don't pledge allegiance to the creepy 22-year-olds working for Elon Musk. We pledge allegiance to the United States of America.
And goddamn it, shut down the city! We are at war!
We will win! We will win! We won't rest! We won't rest!
Great.
Democrats need a real leader, okay? They need a real leader, which currently does not exist in the Democratic Party. And they have been caught completely flat-footed with the entire Trump presidency for the last 2 weeks and Elon Musk. I said on CNN months ago that Elon Musk would be the most influential advisor to President Trump, and that is proving to be true, whether you like it or not. But Democrats should have had a plan for this. They knew it was coming. We say this every single night.
2025.
We knew it.
Just talked about.
We knew it. Trump has said all of these things were going to happen. We saw him align with Elon Musk, which may go down as the smartest thing that any presidential candidate has ever done, from the young vote to tech, to a million other things. So Democrats needed to have a plan, and it may be too late.
Yeah, Bakari, are you fired up after?
I'm fired up and ready to go. Can't you see it in my face?
Democrats agree that Musk is a problem, but listen to them today. And they have a piñata in search of a stick.
To our Republican colleagues, if you do not see the light, we will bring the fire. Resist!
We are going to be in your face. We are going to be on your asses.
We have days to stop the destruction of our democracy. We have work to do. Tell Elon Musk to take his hands off your money. We don't pledge allegiance to the creepy 22-year-olds working for Elon Musk.
As you can see, Amania, Project 2025. Project 2025. I mean, the Democrat and CNN, they just doubled down stupidity.
Yeah.
Politico got $8 million. We know the mass media is getting paid. And that's Project 2025, fighting the waste and the fraud and the abuse of taxpayer money is Project 2025. If that's what the best they could do.
Yeah, they got nothing. And you know what? They sound so
in the government.
desperate. Right? They're just desperate. And when you see the visual, friends, if you're listening, I would advise you to go find that. You can find it at Black Conservative Perspective has a video out on it, and you can see the whole thing. Their faces in this, protest that they were doing. They actually walked up to that USAID building, Voy, and the people that they were prepared. They said, "Yeah, y'all can't come in here. We've shut it down." And then you should see their faces. Elon Omar, really? We can't get in? No.
And this is what the Democrat is screaming for. Senator Eric Schmidt laid it out. Go ahead, give me another clip, Jeff.
Defend this kind of stuff, because you can't really defend this kind of stuff. 45 million for diversity and inclusion scholarships in Burma. 3 million for girl-centered climate action in Brazil. 125 million to racialize public health. 288,000 for diverse birdwatcher groups. USAID, which is in the center of the storm right now, and rightfully so, spent 1.5 billion to, quote, advance diversity, equity, inclusion in Serbia's workplaces and business communities. 70,000 for the production of a DEI musical in Ireland. 2.5 billion for electric vehicles for Vietnam. 47,000 for a transgender opera in Columbia. Not Columbia, Missouri, or Columbia, South Carolina. The country of Colombia. 32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. Wow. 2 million for sex changes and LGBT activism in Guatemala. 6 million to fund tourism in Egypt. This is what they're mad about, because you can't really defend this kind of stuff.
I'm not even finished yet. We're about to start. Yeah. Jeff, you work hard in this country. You listen to this. And this is a fake program and those money go back to the senators and the representative. This is the kind of nonsense we're dealing with, and that's what the Democrat is screaming about Elon Musk. Okay.
Boy, is there a name for that? Is there a name for that? Is that called money laundering?
Absolutely.
Ah, money laundering, you say?
Oh, take it. Oh, okay. We're gonna take another break. We're gonna take a quick break, Amania.
Okay.
You're listening to Inspiration 1680 AM, WOKB Winter Garden, W2640F 100.7 FM Kissimmee, and around the world at WOKBradio.com. Inspiration 1680 AM and 100.7 FM Kissimmee.
The following program.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. We back. The phone number is 47894-1680. Once again, the phone number 47894-1680. And we should have a Doge in every county and every city in America for finding waste and fraud by Democratic mayors, by Democratic governors in this country. Right here in Orange County, in the city of Florida, in the city of Orlando, we should go ahead, put a Doge out there to audit the Orange County Mayor Demings during the COVID. There's a news out there. Money went out for fraud for a certain program to see where those money goes. We need some accountability. Mayor Demings, you could come in the show. You could come in the show, and we should, and the taxpayer of Orange County, Buddy Dyer, the Orlando City, okay, we should know where our money is going, what program that they being funded. Just like the federal government allocate money, and you listen to all this DEI nonsense, to all this transgender nonsense going on throughout the country, the city of Orlando, Orange County, the taxpayers, we should demand accountable some type of system to audit the city government.
I absolutely agree with you, Voy. I think it's very important because when we really look at the landscape, what we see with Democrats at the national, the Democrats in the lower levels are doing it too. The governors are doing it. The mayors are doing it. So, yes, I say we do need to audit the cities to see where's the money going? What are you funding? And you referenced about Jerry Demings. I remember a couple of years ago when his wife was the congresswoman, there was money allocated to, I think, the Black community, the Pine Hills community. There were money for them to take to help the youth and the crime and the criminals and things like that. The young people, though, where's that money? What programs have they implemented? I think it was like $100 million or something like that. Where's that money? What have they done with that money? I think we need to get the receipts in reference to what they have been doing with taxpayer money.
And I don't think any citizen of Orange County or the city of Orlando, any voters out there should be upset about that, because this is your government. It's not the Democrat act like an elite. For anyone that's going to run against a Democrat party, against the Democrat elite in 2026, this is your campaign. Because the Democrat is double down on stupidity. Okay? It's not their money. They got a diversity, transgender, and Murama. They're very conservative country where these people, they will hang you for being a gay. So they're just using all kind of other countries and program. The money's not actually going there. There's an investigation going on right now. Yeah. And let me play Senator Kennedy out of Louisiana. I love him when he's on the floor talking. Let me play this next clip for you.
And I've listened to people talk about the process and debate whether it's constitutional. and discuss how many lawyers can dance on the head of a pin. But you know what? I haven't heard one single person who's upset with President Trump or Mr. Musk talk about what he's found. They don't want to talk about the spending porn, the waste of taxpayer money that he's found. I mean, that's the point of all this. I tell you who is interested. The American people. The people in America who get up every day and go to work and obey the law and pay their taxes and try to educate their kids and try to do the right thing by their kids and try to save a little money for retirement, and have had to live through 20% inflation under President Biden. They understand what Musk is doing. They understand spending porn and wasting taxpayer money. Now, Mr. Musk started with the USAID. That handles a lot of foreign aid for America. American people are very generous. In our country, when you're homeless, we'll house you. When you're hungry, we'll feed you. In our country, when you're too poor to be sick, we'll pay for your doctor. And we send a lot of money overseas to help our world's neighbors. And the USAID is in charge, in large part, of that. But I'll tell you what Mr. Musk discovered. It fascinated. He discovered that the American taxpayers are giving money to Afghanistan. He found that we are giving money to Yemen. He found that we are giving money to Syria. I didn't know that. Some of our foreign aid is going to Yemen, Afghanistan, Syria. He found that the USAID has 10,000 people. 10,000 people, employees. And every year they give away $40 billion. Mr. Musk also found, and I'm not saying that all of this money is wasteful. I'm not. Some of this money, I'm sure, does some good. That's why Secretary Rubio is going to revamp the department and separate the good from the bad. But this is the kind of stuff Mr. Musk found. He found that the USAID gave money to support electric vehicles in Vietnam. Our money, taxpayer money. He found that USAID gave money to a transgender clinic in India. I didn't know that. I bet you the American people didn't know that. He found that the USAID gave $1.5 million to a Serbian LGBTQ group called Grupa Izladaji. I probably mispronounced that. My apologies. Anyway, they got $1.5 million to, quote, advance diversity, equity, and inclusion in Serbia's workplaces and business community. What else did Mr. Musk found that my colleagues don't want to talk about? Well, he reviewed a study and then went and checked it. The study was done by the Middle East Forum. They found that USAID spent $164 million to support radical organizations around the world. We're not talking Cub Scout troops here. We're talking about radical organizations around the world. They gave $122 million of that to groups aligned with foreign terrorist organizations. Our taxpayer money. According to this report in Mr. Musk, the USAID has given millions of dollars to, quote, organizations in Gaza controlled by Hamas. Why aren't my colleagues talking about that? Recipients of the money they found.
Wow. Can you believe that?
He's gonna keep going. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
The swamp just took a.
Say this. This is true.
Okay. But as you listen to all this, you ask yourself, I know I have many listeners out there, and you out there listening to me, and you see, well, these guys every Thursday, they come out here talk about Trump, and you had voted for Kamala, and I got a whole lot more clip for you. Jeff, Glenn, as an American taxpayer, $40 billion in USAID. What are we spending money, Jeff, on DEI in Serbia? Can anybody explain this to me? $40 billion a year. And Democrat is double down on stupidity. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
They don't want Trump to deport criminal, illegal alien. They don't want Trump to look at into their fraud and scheme. They get their kickback. And our community is in shambles.
Yeah.
Disaster in North Carolina. These people could not get help. But we're spending transgender money in Colombia and Guatemala.
Yeah.
Okay? This is what the Democrat Party is supporting? This is what they're upset? Take it, Sister Roya. Talk to me.
Well, boy, transparency is like the kryptonite to these people, right? Because that's what they're afraid of. They're afraid of the truth coming out. They're afraid of their constituents finding out what that they really voted for people to go to Washington, D.C. or to be put in these positions to make themselves rich. And we heard Dr. White last week put Maxwell Frost to the table. This guy went into the Congress.
Know something? We in 2026, he's up for election. He has to be challenged.
Yeah,
He's
I know.
If he's out there double down, he's just one of them stupid double down on ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As a taxpayer in Central Florida and District 10, we got to get him out.
We got to get him out.
We got to get him out.
I hear you.
I don't care if it's not a Democrat, but a Democrat with some good sense.
Is there such a thing?
Huh?
I think they've all lost their senses.
No, just like you heard CNN said, Democrat, they don't have a leader.
They don't. I know.
They don't have a leader.
Yeah. The problem.
And you had, and since we're in this radio station, you had some of these pastors, Jamal, and some of these pastors in Central Florida, who was very critical of Trump. I bet they could use some of that money to build the community around here to help out.
You really think they want to help out?
I think that's
their main job, boy.
Let me put a challenge to all these pastors.
Okay.
I have a whole list of even more. I'm just gonna have more clip. Imagine some of that money that we could have used put in the black community. Instead of putting all that money in DEI and transgender. This is 4 years, and thank God Kamala Harris is not president. It was 40 under her watch. It would have been 80 million for the USIDA.
Billion. She might have even gone a trillion. But boy, my point is, you bring up the pastors, and I find it very funny that these pastors, do you think they really care? Their main job is to save souls. They ain't trying to even do that, boy. They're trying to send people straight into hell with their beliefs. And you think all they want to do is line up their pockets, make sure they collect, they donations and their money. That's who these people care about. They don't care about we the people. The government doesn't care, and our representatives doesn't care, and the pastors don't care. So, we can talk about it all day long. You can call Jamal Bryant out all day long. All they got is, they got nothing for we the people.
I got Cory Booker for you. Cory Booker.
What about Spartacus?
Go ahead, Jeff. Cory Booker.
Time for us to fight. And let's be clear. Let's be clear about how we can fight. The Republicans won the White House. They won the House of Representatives. They won the United States Senate. They have majorities across Congress, but we are not powerless. We have agency, and we all must join together and fight in these ways. But the first thing we cannot do is allow them to weaken us by us turning against each other. This must be a coalition that grows and grows and grows. There can be no bystanders in this fight. It is time that we understand the only thing necessary for wrong to triumph is for right to do nothing, for right to be silent. And so understand this. There are legislators walking through here, but these are the ways we're going to fight. First of all, in the United States Senate, we will not cooperate. We are joining the leadership. We are joining the leadership already stated by Brian Schatz of Hawaii, that we will cooperate with no appointments when it comes to the State Department, no appointments when it comes to foreign policy. The first thing we're going to do in the Senate is not cooperate with the illegal and unconstitutional acts that they are trying to do. The second thing we are going to do, and we met this morning, it is in the legal perspective. The second thing we are going to do is we are going to fight this legally in every way we can. We will fight their violation of civil service laws. We will fight their violation of civil rights laws. We will fight their violations of separation of powers. We will fight their violations of our Constitution of the United States of America.
What is he fighting for? Yesterday, Donald Trump signed the No Man and Women's Sport. That's what he's talking about? Is that what Cory Booker talking about? I'm not hearing you, Amania.
Is he talking about all of the money that's gone to foreign countries for all this LGBT transgender stuff? Is that what Cory Booker? Is that what Spartacus is out here getting ready to go to war for? I mean, Cory Booker is a joke. You know, he used to be my mayor. You know, he was my mayor, and I met him. I met Spartacus. Okay, the government doesn't.
Yeah.
He was so radical.
Is that what he's fighting for?
Yeah, I guess so. And you know, Kennedy said something amazing there. Is that they're out there fighting for all of this. They're out here but they won't address the situation. Can they just have a conversation and say, yeah, you know, we sent money to Gaza, we sent condoms to Gaza, or whatever it is, all this American money going
$50 million.
They won't even have, they won't engage.
$50 million. That's the number.
They won't engage. They won't talk about it. What about if we have a round table and we put the documents before them? Here's all the money that went to this country, that country, for this reason, for that reason. Let's talk about it. But they won't. They want to be out here fighting for democracy, but yet they won't address the elephants in the room. They want to sidestep it because they think you, the American people, are too dumb and too stupid to understand what's going on, that they are getting rich. They're out here fighting for their own pockets, not for you. They're trying to hide the truth. Transparency is what Elon Musk is bringing here. He is bringing the light. And as they say, you know, a house full of cockroaches, as the light comes on, Elon Musk is the light and they are the cockroaches. And they're scattering crazy because they can't stand the light. They can't stand the truth.
Let me play Stephen Miller explaining all this.
Not in the bureaucracy, not an unelected. There's probably no entity in the government that is more of an entrenched power center of unelected bureaucrats with less accountability, less oversight than USAID. They funnel money to their cronies all over the world through a swampy network of NGOs, non-governmental organizations, and cutouts, including potentially some very troubling elements of focusing on things like regime change and destabilizing foreign countries. But this is not about America's interests. Donald Trump is courageously restoring democracy. Article 2 of the executive branch vests all power by the Constitution. Sorry, Article 2 of the Constitution vests all power of the executive branch in a president. It's known as the vesting clause. It says the executive power shall be vested in a president, singular. Not in the bureaucracy, not in unelected, lifetime tenured career civil servants. Americans voted for one man, Donald J. Trump. They didn't vote for a single bureaucrat at USAID. They voted for Donald Trump to make government accountable to the taxpayer, to make government accountable for them. If the Democrats are saying, as they are, that President Trump cannot implement his agenda at USAID, that Donald Trump cannot fire recalcitrant bureaucrats, what they are saying, what Democrats are saying, is they oppose democracy itself. They oppose the idea that the American people can elect a man, in this case, our President Donald Trump, to reform the government according to the will of the people. This is a battle between the will of the people through their president, Donald Trump, and the will of an unelected federal bureaucracy. So we and President Trump are on the side of democracy. There's probably no.
I remember when Bill Clinton got elected, he fired over 30,000 government employees to reshape the government. And the first, he fired 1,900 at the Department of Justice. Okay? So if that's what Cory Booker is screaming about, none of them is screaming or talk about any other waste spending in Washington. This is gonna be the midterm in 2026. This is gonna be the midterm in 2026. You know, all that climate change, Green New Deal is a bunch of scam.
It is a scam.
And let me go to the list of the scam that the Democrat is supporting. You know, and some of the Republican, they're complicit too, Amania.
Oh God, yeah.
You know, so because as you could see, they staying very quiet. Okay. It's not like that's why I say any Republican who's supporting this nonsense should be primary in 2026. Should be primary in 2026.
Yeah.
It's unacceptable. How are we gonna fix this debt? Let me start. 7.9 million to teach Sri Lanka journalism to avoid binary gender language.
What's that mean?
20 million for new Sesame Street show in Iraq. 4.5 million to combat disinformation in a country called Kazakhstan. That's the former Soviet Union. 1.5 million for art for inclusion of people with disability. 2 million for sex change and LGBT activism in Guatemala. 6 million to transform digital space to reflect feminism and democratic principle. 2.1 million to help BBC value diversity of Libya society. 10 million worth of USAID funded meal, which went to Al-Qaeda linked terror group. 25 million to promote green transportation in the country of Georgia, not Georgia State. That's Soviet Union, a country in a former Soviet Union. 2.5 million to promote inclusion in Vietnam. 16.8 million for separate inclusion group in Vietnam. 5 million to Equal Health Alliance NGO virus research. 20 million for a group related to a key players in the Russian Gate impeachment. That's the money that they put the Russian hoax. They funded the CIA and the FBI, and that's why Donald Trump should go ahead and go forward and fire all 500 FBI agents who investigated the J6 committee. 1.2 million to help the African Methodist Episcopal Church Agency. 1.5 million to promote LGBT advocacy in Jamaica. To all my Jamaican, I know I have a lot of Jamaican here. 1.5 million to promote LGBT. I know the Jamaicans gonna get upset about this one.
Nobody buys mine.
Nobody buys. Jamaicans gonna. I know the Jamaican. 1.5 million. So they out there promoting Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, okay, money to promote homosexuality in Jamaica. 1.5 million. And then a lot of Jamaicans supporting Kamala Harris. Let me move forward. Keep going down the list. 2 million to promote LGBT equality to entrepreneurship in Latin America. 500K to solve violence in Israel and Hamas. 2.3 million for gold mining in the Amazon. 3.9 million for LGBT cause in the Western Balkan. 5.5 million to LGBT activism in Uganda. 6 million for advanced LGBT issue in priority country around the world. 6.3 million for men who have sex with men in South Africa. 8.3 million for USAID education, equity, and inclusion. And more is coming throughout the week.
I feel there's a theme there. Do you think that they're really trying to push the agenda of the LGBTQ? Do you think that that's on top of mind? Do you think that's high priority out of that list that you just read? Just about everything on there is to advance LGBT causes and these things. Do you think that this agenda is just not here in America? They're really trying to push it out there into the world everywhere. Huh?
I gotta ask some of my Jamaican friends.
Yeah.
I gotta ask. 1.5 million in Jamaica to promote LGBT.
We need to talk to the people out there. What's happening in Jamaica with all this? You know?
As you could see, most of this fund, all our money, focus in certain area. DEI and LGBT. And even country that don't need DEI. The Balkan. What the? promoting. So who's and Donald Trump said, I'm gonna get who's getting those kickbacks.
Yeah.
And that's why we need an investigation.
Right. Yeah. Where did the money go and who did it go to? How did they wash it from one hand to the other? How did it get back to whoever the cronies are on this side of it? You know.
And that's why in 2010, when any debate, you're standing in front of Maxwell Frost to go to this list. This is what he was screaming and supporting. And he's on the Ways and Mean Committee, Oversight Committee. Because, yeah, he's the ranking member in the Oversight Committee.
Yeah.
Maxwell Frost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. So for somebody, I can't wait. I can't wait for the midterm to get here.
Yeah.
To stand in front of this fool and go through all this. Say and play his video on his own word, supporting the nonsense.
Yeah. Man, we need a strong candidate to present and stand in front of Frost and present these truths and these facts and these transparent things and how he voted for these things, how this is who he is, how this is what he represents. Your money going to all these things that Voy just read out there. Your money, your taxpayer, right? Your money going to fund these crazy causes in these countries. I mean, it is ridiculous. And in the meantime, I started to say, Issa White mentioned last week that he has only been in Congress just a few short years. He went in broke, but now has over $1 million in his value. He's worth over $1 million. Went in broke. And they make $174,000 a year. No way you get $1 million there. No way. What's he been doing? These are questions these are valid questions that the opponent should be asking him when we take him on for the midterms.
Politico, I didn't have Politico. Politico, if you go on the website, they got $8 million. You know why
they got $8 million?
Because they could the Hunter laptop, so they could sense the history, they could change some of the agenda. And most of the media, there's a list that's coming out too, and how most of the media got paid to promote Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Yeah, they all got paid.
So to all the Democrat who went out there and vote, that's not your concern.
You know,
the phone line is open, folks. 478941680. The phone, I would like it because I can't get some of the Democrat representative or people who work on some of this Democrat office. They don't want to come now.
Yeah, they don't want to have conversations. They don't want to talk. They don't want to talk. What are they going to say, boy? What are they going to say? They're going to reflect just like everybody else. Like if you bring Johnny into the conversation, he's going to just reflect. He's not going to acknowledge it. He's not going to, interact in the conversation. Well, Trump did this or Trump did that. That is always, they're going to deflect. And that's what, the congressman staff is going to do. Nobody wants to have a real conversation. Just like they were on that podium screaming and yelling, but they don't really want to say, okay, let's talk about, all that money going to Jamaica for whatever LGBT stuff. Let's talk about it. But they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it.
Let me play this last clip.
It seems to me that leftists are apoplectic, not because our tax dollars are being wasted on idiotic things, but because all of it is being exposed all of the sudden, which I think is certainly a beautiful thing. So much of this government waste has been operating in the shadows where the American people don't know about it and has been largely unaccounted for. And so many of these programs wouldn't exist and will not exist now that they're being exposed. It seems to me that leftists are apoplectic not because our tax dollars are being wasted on idiotic things, but because all of it is being exposed all of the sudden, which I think is certainly a beautiful thing. So much of this government waste has been operating in the shadows where the American people don't know about it and has been largely unaccounted for. And so many of these programs wouldn't exist and will not exist now that they're being exposed.
Yeah,
it seems to me that
this is the Democrat. This is what they defend, Amania.
Huh?
Yeah, I can't wait for 2026. I can't wait.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun.
2026 should be a landslide for Republican and midterm.
You would think. I mean, you would think. I mean, we are positioned to get it done because of the craziness.
And let me play one more clip.
Listen, I want to get into the Democrats. They've doubled down on two really dumb issues, which I am perfectly fine with, because if they want to fight the deportation of, we have known terrorists, cartel members, gang members, murderers, rapists in this country, and they're Jamie Raskins of the world are saying that this is not a big deal and so on and so forth, and minimize it. And if they want to fight for the rights of those illegal immigrant criminals, I'm fine with that. The other big issue that they seem to be doubling down on, with the exception of Rambo, Deadfish Emanuel, and David Axelrod, they're two people that are not stupid, and they're saying let all this foreign U.S. aid go. But I'm sure, Bill O'Reilly, that you're perfectly happy, paying out billions and hundreds of billions of dollars, for HIV research on transgenders and millions to the COVID lab in China and a Serbian LGBTQ group. All of this money seems to be going to woke causes, Green New Deal causes, the advancement of trans causes, DEI, abortion. I mean, I'm sure you have no problem with the $20 million, of taxpayer money being spent on a Sesame Street show in Iraq, or $56 million to boost Egyptian and Tunisia tourism, or $40 million to build schools in Jordan, and $11 million to tell the Vietnamese and how to stop burning trash, and $45 million for DEI scholarships in Burma. And then, of course, we're paying for DEI musicals in Ireland, electric vehicles in Vietnam, transgender operas in Colombia, a transgender comic book in Peru, about millions for a DEI project in Serbia. And I can go on, Bill, for the next hour, and you wouldn't get a word in. I'm going to stop there, but you get the point. But the Democrats, they seem to, they say this is a constitutional crisis that Donald Trump and Elon Musk are going to gut and cut and turn over every nickel of taxpayer money so we don't waste this money anymore.
If the Republican Party was smart, and that's a big if, they would turn this campaign into the Democratic Party does not respect you, the working American. Because none of the money that you just mentioned, the absurdity of the situation is apparent, but very little of it actually got to where it was supposed to go. One word, Haiti. How many billions of dollars over the last 25 years the United States, both private and public funding, sent to that island? You know who runs the island? Drug gangs. It is the worst place in the world. It is so bad that they're now shooting at airlines. Americans can't even land there, American planes, in Port-au-Prince, because gang bangers shoot at the planes when they're taxiing in.
Bill, you're not even beginning to describe how bad it is, because I've been to Haiti I went with Franklin Graham. We went to give out Christmas boxes to the children in Haiti, and we flew over the entire country in a helicopter. And I've never seen such poverty and devastation in my life. You want to cry. And you're right. All that money spent and nothing's been done.
And it's been stolen. So in any kind of a fair government, you respect the taxpayer. You respect that person. And therefore you set up a system to watch where the expenditures go. The Democratic Party doesn't care at all about that. They want to spend and spend and spend. And they don't care if the money's stolen. Joe Biden didn't even know all of the things that you just read off, U.S. aid, in 24, by the way. This is not past. This is now. Biden didn't know anything about it because he doesn't care about it. They didn't give him a list and say, gee, Mr. President, should we send? It's a fake. It's a phony. It doesn't happen. It's a dictatorship there. And
why are Democrats, first of all, they hid this from the American people. You and I spend hours and hours every day doing research. Hours. And we have people that assist us in doing that research because we want to be the most informed people we can be on the air. And people like Joni Ernst, she has been trying to get the specifics of this spending for U.S. aid for years. And they label it in obscure ways that hide how radical the agenda has been and how woke and green and trans and DEI and abortion related and LGBTQ related. Again, none of this is going to the American people, and we're talking about billions of dollars at a time we're $40 trillion in debt, Bill.
Here we go, Amania. $40 trillion in debt.
Gosh. It's gone. The number's gone up.
Yes, $40 trillion.
It's 40 trillion now. Oh my God.
And the Democrat Party, their focus, woke culture, DEI to other. I thought DEI was diversity, equity, inclusion was more to help Black people in America.
Yeah, I guess not. It's more helping more foreigners than anything.
All Black people was the last to benefit from DEI.
Yeah, but they prop up the Black faces, right? They put the Black face as, you know, the person that we're out here fighting for. And so, of course, you know, once they do that, they bring up slavery. Oh, America's sins and all that. And so we've got to repent. Black people deserve better and all this. They put you out there just so they can prop you up, so that they can use you, your color, your slavery, your history, and then, you know, take money and send it to other countries to prop them up, to feed them, to deal with them. But here you are in America, and it's a bad look. It's a bad look.
You know, so this is I'm sitting here in the studio, and when people, how much help our community needed, how much good some of that money could have done in our community right here in Central Florida.
Yeah.
All that to promote more Black businesses, to help with more homeless. And sometime you see the city or the county, or they don't have this in the budget, they don't have this in the budget. Or Congress now, you look at the victim during the hurricane in North Carolina.
Yeah.
FEMA didn't have no money.
Yeah.
This should be an outrage.
Yeah. Yeah. But what really bugs me, Voy, even with all of this.
Yeah, we're gonna close the Department of Education.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about time.
Yeah, that's something great.
Send it back to the state.
Yeah.
You know, because under Democrat, bigger government, they don't want to shrink the government.
Yeah. just let me. Donald Trump and this administration is really exposing a lot. I mean, we've been in office, what, 2 weeks? And all of these things is coming to the floor. But you know what really bugs me is that even with all that, our friends, our Black friends, they are still going to vote Democrat, boy. We can be on this radio show talking about everything that they've done. Identity politics will always play, and they will stick to the Democrats like glue. And that's what frustrates me about Black voters. What are you going to get out of the deal? You ain't getting nothing out of it.
I think every Black person in this country should be concerned about this. Okay? Every Black representative, we should start having town hall. Give me an explanation for some of these finding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it. You think they're going to show up? You think they're going to talk about it?
And that's what I'm telling you. You need to keep all that database because 2026 is going to be a busy midterm.
Yeah. Yeah. You think they'll show up? We can try. We can try to put a town hall together. The audience, y'all can come live in effect.
And we should have an independent judge for every county and every city, because do you see all this waste? Bet with you, same thing's going in Orange County right now. Same thing going in the city of Orlando.
The same thing is happening. All of these woke causes, that's where our money's going. All of these woke causes, that's where they're going. To fund this LGBT program, to fund this transgender program, diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's where all the money are going at the federal level, the state level, and at the local level. It's waste, and we do need a Doge. We need a Doge.
Amania, we see the progress that Donald Trump made for the last because I know we're coming to a final hour here, minute.
Yeah.
Very good progress Donald Trump made in the last 2 weeks, within 2 weeks. Marco Rubio, his trip to Central America.
Yeah.
An agreement with Panama, agreed to with the canal. Great leadership. Take China out of the contract, no contract with China.
Yeah.
We see El Salvador is going to take some of these gang members.
Yeah.
El Salvador is going to take some of these gang members. We see that we see Venezuela going to take some of their criminal back. We see Colombia. We see Mexico and Canada, 30 days. Tariff back on. You see the agreement between the president of Mexico and Donald Trump. This is what they call that's the art of the deal, negotiation.
Yep.
That they're gonna put they're gonna monitor the border, put soldiers in the border. Canada cooperate. Okay. We giving Canada $100 billion a year. And like I said, I'm agree with Donald Trump. Canada should be the 51 state. Okay. We see the meeting with Netanyahu.
Yeah, they're a little bit liberal out there, boy. Canada's liberal. Do we want another liberal state, friend? Oh God.
I know. So I mean, I don't think all Canada's like that, though.
No, at least 90%.
No, there's some very conservative Canadian. There's some conservative Canadian.
Yeah, but the liberals outdo them, though.
No, the only thing I would afraid if Canada were the 51 state, I think the liberal probably would be in the majority because they voted very liberal.
Yeah, they would be.
Okay, I think, and that's why the Democrats trying to get Washington D.C. and Puerto Rico
to be a state. Yeah.
because in DC, but people are waking up and understanding this. Do you think, because I'm looking the some of the latest poll, so well, Donald Trump is losing rating, and I don't think so. I think more people really understand all the waste and the fraud in doing the government. I think more people understand what's going on. Folks is gonna be on board. They really make these their representative accountable. Make government the way it should function. And I know this is new to a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why you're hearing on CNN Project 2025. If that's Project 2025, bring it on.
That's right.
Bring it on.
Absolutely. Now, I know there's so many things, but you mentioned one thing, and I want to just touch on it real quick. Is it El Salvador or one of these countries who's going to be taking back their criminals? And
El Salvador and Guatemala.
Guatemala?
Yeah, Guatemala.
Well, I saw a clip of where they have a very efficient prison there, and
that's in El Salvador. That's in El
Salvador.
Salvador.
Well, they know that. They know their business, and they are not only saying that we will take these criminals, but we will take American criminals too.
Absolutely. And
they can turn that place into a place for the criminals.
And Donald Trump is going to put some of the hardcore alien criminals in Guantanamo Bay. Yeah. Do you think some American citizen hardcore criminals, should they go to Guantanamo Bay?
Send them all back there. That place should be just for prisoners.
Amania, but I think some of these representative, like the ex-senator of New Jersey, Menendez. I think we should ship him to Guantanamo.
Ship him out too. Ship him out too there. He like international this much, isn't that why he in trouble right now? He likes taking money from the different countries. Yeah, why don't you go serve your prison sentence out there with them? You know? Yeah, he's talking about, oh yeah, Trump was right. The system is rigged. You're a crook. And it's about time, that somebody answer for these things. But I thought it was fascinating that this guy was like, yeah, I'll take those criminals. I'll take your American criminals too. And somebody made the point of the blacks is going to come out here, boohoo, whine, and cry and say, oh, they're shipping Negroes. They're shipping black people out of the country. They're getting rid of the blacks.
Oh yeah, they
are the criminals. A lot of them are criminals, right? So yeah, they'll be shipping out some blacks.
Some of our prison that's overfilled. If we could ship some of these people in Guantanamo, and I know the governor of Oklahoma have a lot of illegal alien, and during the Biden administration, he couldn't get no cooperation. So he's asking the Trump administration if they could come out and take some of these illegal immigrant out of the prison and ship him to Guantanamo. So open space for.
I mean, it don't matter where you serve your sentence. Who said you had to stay here? If they got a prison out there across the pond and they can take you, you know what, for that, you are going international. They probably ain't never left the country to begin with. This is a wonderful exercise. Go see another prison. Go see another country.
Well, Amania, the music is playing, so that means it's gonna be a time to let Lady D coming in, my lovely Lady D, and I do have to ask her, what does she think about the Biden administration and Kamala promoting 1.8 million to promote LBGTT in Jamaica?
Oh, yeah, that's right. She is Jamaica. What is she saying?
Oh my God.
Lady, yeah,
one thing just came out the wire. The NCAA no longer is going to deal with transgender men and sport. So kudos to them. Okay, so you got the last word, Amania.
Okay, well, it's been great conversation. There's so much to talk about, and if you guys are interested, I may just continue this on my channel because there's a couple of things that I want to cover. Because there's so much. I mean, there's so much on the agenda, right? The news, there's so much. But I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to speak and to do that. And you're right, Voy. 2026, we gotta come together. We
gotta fire it up.
Baby.
I guess what?
Thank you. Frost.
Thank you, Amania, for holding it down. Thank you, Jeff, for holding it down. I appreciate it. And stay with Lady D coming with her next show. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys next Thursday. So hopefully everybody will be in a full house. Loving it. It's gonna be Lady D. It's gonna be a great 4 years. Jeff, get ready to do some more dancing. Guess what? Because America is changing. We're bringing common sense. And to WOKB, Glenn, Ashanti, love you. See you guys. Don Miller, don't forget to check out Don Miller's show at 8 o'clock on his podcast.